Awesome people. So right now I thought it would be fun to work on some difficult arm balances. I know this will be a bit advanced for almost all of you, and that's fine. Just do what you feel like. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Skip this one. This is definitely a much more advanced practice than I usually offer. And this is not designed for all of my students. So if you want to skip this video, that's fine. If you just want to watch and laugh at me, that's beautiful too. And I just thought, for those of you who felt like, since this is all being recorded, felt like maybe you would enjoy having a little challenge to work on over time, then it might be fun to offer that, since I don't often get to do this in a class setting where I don't want to leave anyone out. And you guys have the option to skip this video, so I can do this now. And arm balances, they definitely, of course, are about upper body strength and core strength. We're going to be engaging the upper body and core, but much more than that, they're actually very much about what I keep saying, finding the ease inside the effort and finding your center of gravity and your balance. So you don't have to be like super strong, you don't have to have a six-pack to do these. It's more about kind of finding that center and using your hands correctly. Our hands are a lot like our feet, right? We grip the earth all the time. Like in Tadasana, if you guys want to join me in Tadasana, just spread your toes and grip the earth, right? And as you close your eyes and you feel yourself kind of weave back and forth and find that center of gravity over the centers of your feet, right? Find those four corners of your feet. Feel how you're kind of shifting forward and back and left and right, finding your center over time. This is the exact same thing that we're going to be doing with our hands. Just finding that center, gripping the earth with our hands the same way we're gripping the earth with our toes. So we are going to start off with some very intense wrist stretching, because this can be straining on the wrist. We just finished practicing ahimsa, non-harming, in my last session. So please practice that during this. If you feel strained in your wrist, or you start having violent thoughts towards yourself or me, then take a break. I always like to credit my beautiful, wonderful sister-in-law for teaching me the importance of wrist stretch. If you're doing any kind of arm balances or inversions or planks or anything on the wrist, it often gets neglected, but they can get injured just like any other part of the body. We have some very delicate nerves in here, so we need to give them some love and some stretching. Take it the other way. Nice. And let's take this one. Beautiful. Breathe into that, okay? If anything's feeling tender, I know a lot of you maybe have been on your computers today, writing emails to friends or doing work from home. That can be very straining on the wrist if you've been gripping your steering wheel, you're eating utensils. I often see people clenching their hands in Shavasana. I assume they do that in their sleep when they're under stress. So let's really give our wrists some good, healthy attention before we ask them to work for us. Take it the other way. Lovely. So in previous videos, we've already worked on crow pose and side crow, and in the last one we actually experimented with flying crow. Those are some of the three basic arm balances, so we're actually going to skip those today. You can do those in the other videos. We're going to get into some more advanced ones. We're going to do firefly to begin with, Titibhasana. This is actually one of the ones that I've personally had the most hard time with, because it's very, very much about hip flexibility and inner thigh flexibility. I'm a runner, so I tend to be very, very tight in here, and so I've had a very hard time actually with this pose, and so that's why I want to start off with this. We're going to start off with just a forward fold to try and stretch these muscles out. So I want everybody to just fold forward nice and deeply, right? If you have something you can kind of grip or reach for, that can really help. Take some deep breaths. We're going to take 12 deep breaths in this position to really warm up for this pose. Take in 12 deep breaths, slowly work your way up. I'm going to recommend using blocks for this if you have them, or something else that you can use. If you don't even want to try this on the floor, that's fine, but it just might be a little harder. So be gentle with yourself, practice non-harming in your thoughts here if you can't do this right away. This took me a very long time to get down when I was in yoga teacher training. It was one of the ones that I struggled with the most, and it was all because of my inflexibility in my legs, but I've been working on it every day. So keep that in mind too, that what I'm able to do now is literally from daily practice with this, because it was getting to me that I couldn't do it, so I worked on it daily. So I'm going to suggest using the blocks. I used them at first when I was starting out. I'm going to create a tabletop with your legs, with your arms. Create a nice little tabletop with your forearms here. And look up, okay? I always say this in every arm balance, so I want to emphasize this. The secret to all of this is look up. If you look down, you're going to fall forward and bonk your nose. I've done it a million times. I don't want you guys bonking your nose. We're still practicing non-harming here. So look up. And go down lower than you think with your hands. And we're going to create the shape of a firefly. So you're going to lift your legs up into a firefly pose. Keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. Make your little firefly wings. It's almost summertime. They'll be here soon, flashing their lights for mating season. Good. Slowly come down. Beautiful. Take a break. Just relax for a minute. Keep playing with that if you want. Pause the video. So now, we're going to come into dragonfly. We're going to make the shape of a dragonfly. So I'd like for you to start off just like we did in the previous video. We're coming into a seated or standing pigeon pose. So you're going to bend down onto that right leg. Take your left foot and come down deeply. Flex this foot like you're coming into a standing pigeon. You're going to stand right here. Okay. Now, we took flying crow in the last video where you took your hands down and lifted that back foot. Today we're going to turn this into a twist. So I'd like for you to take your foot to your arm, grip the ground, and then lift that back foot. So you're making the shape of a dragonfly. Good. Slowly come down. Lift up. Good. Okay, let's take that on the other side. So, grip the earth with your foot. Come down like you're coming into a little standing chair. Standing pigeon, flex this foot. You're going to come down. Now, instead of coming into flying crow like we did before, lift that foot a little bit. Shift your standing foot. Use your forearm for balance. Come down to the ground. Lift that back foot. Come into your dragonfly. Slowly come up. Lift up. Good. Now that was a pretty intense twist. So let's be gentle with our back here and take a little twist just to kind of wring that out so we don't injure our lower spine. Good. Take it the other way. Just a few breaths. Alright, last one for today. We're going to come into peacock pose. And we're going to create a little peacock feather. This is a lot about our butt muscles actually. So you're going to take poor flower. You're going to take your hands and point your fingers towards you and just flex your wrists out this way. Okay, and then create a little tabletop with your forearms. Engage your core, engage your butt muscles, and lift into a peacock shape. Beautiful. Come back down. Lovely. Let's finish that off with one final back bend. Take your feet to your hips. It's starting to rain on me and it's beautiful. Lift your hips up. Breathe. Come into your bridge pose. And then lay down in Shavasana. I get to feel the rain falling on my skin. It's lovely. Slowly come up. take your hands to your heart. If you have made it to this part of the practice and you have not thrown anything at your computer or television, then I love you. With infinite gratitude. Namaste.